Faith is a knowledge within the heart, beyond the reach of proof. That which we persist in doing becomes easier to do. Not that the nature of the thing has changed, but that our power to do has increased. I have so much to share with the world. Please be patient, and you will get everything you are currently waiting for. Happiness comes when your work and words are of benefit to others. There's only so much emotional superglue in a person's soul that everything just stays broken. I can calculate the motion of heavenly bodies, but not the madness of people. My motto is that you can't always control what happens to you in life, but you can control your reaction. Never curse a fall. The ground is where humility lives. We don't receive wisdom, we must discover it for ourselves. There is nothing good in this world that does not have some filth in its origin. Life always involves some logic in its manifestations, and logic, as a rule, excludes the versatility of life from its considerations. I read somewhere how important it is in life not necessarily to be strong, but to feel strong, to measure yourself at least once. A man is a success if he gets up in the morning and gets to bed at night, and in between he does what he wants to do. You are a cosmic flower. OM chanting is the process of opening the psychic petals of that flower. Happiness is a very pretty thing to feel, but very dry to talk about. If you can spend a perfectly useless afternoon in a perfectly useless manner, you have learned how to live. First, you jump off the cliff and build your wings on the way down. As soon as you trust yourself, you will know how to live. For truth is always strange, stranger than fiction. He must be very ignorant, for he answers every question he is asked. It is not a failure to readjust my sails to fit the waters I find myself in. Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. Stars do not pull each other down to be more visible. They shine brighter. All I do is lie, and that has made me immune to compliments. It's strange how dreams get under your skin and give your heart a test for what's real and what's imaginary. And I remembered something else that makes us human: faith, the only weapon in our arsenal to battle doubt. I am not an optimist, but a great believer of hope. The deeds you do may be the only sermon some persons will hear today. Life is the only trip where the journey is more important than the destination. Celebrasaya Kerdalam se galahal. Bakan Kitaka Minamukan hal Kesel Antakaku Sakuri. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, not the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change. Patience and improvement is the key to opening the door to progress. I speak my own sins. I cannot judge another. I have no tongue for it. Focus your heart, mind, and soul on joy, and you'll find ultimate success and fulfillment. It is not the cards you are dealt in life that matters. It is how you play your hand. Christ is not valued at all, unless he is valued above all. There are two ways of spreading light: to be the candle or the mirror that reflects it. Fitness is vital for sports person. I never take it for granted. My fitness mantra is healthy eating and daily exercise. Speak to me. I will spend my lifetime trying to understand you. I assess the power of a will by how much resistance, pain, torture it endures and knows how to turn to its advantage. Better to shun the bait than struggle in the snare. Search of truth is actually a search of strength to handle the truth. If you're reading this, congratulations, you're alive. If that's not something to smile about, then I don't know what is. If you remember me, then I don't care if everyone else forgets. Don't dwell on things. Don't stay in one place too long. It was the only way to stay ahead of sadness. Those who are willing to be vulnerable move among mysteries. I encounter one example after another of how relative truth is. Change is not always growth, but growth is often rooted in change. Dries Duerden. Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. We are the sum of all people we have ever met. You change the tribe, and the tribe changes you. Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forward. Difficulties increase the nearer we get to the goal. No dirt can touch me. Like an ocean, everything that comes to me becomes clean. This is a wonderful day. I have never seen this one before. If you tend to a flower, it will bloom, no matter how many weeds surround it. It's partly true, too, but it isn't all true. People always think something's all true. I'll be happy if running and I can grow old together. In my opinion, our healthcare system has failed when a doctor fails to treat an illness that is treatable. If you try to change it, you will ruin it. Try to hold it, and you will lose it. Most of what matters in our lives takes place in our absence. We must meet the challenge rather than wish it were not before us. Try telling the truth for a whole week, and just see how much trouble you get in. When you walk in silence, your excellence will always speak for you. The sky is the limit. For some people, aim higher. Nothing is impossible. The rich fop Francis of Assisi was bored all his life. It frightens me, the awful truth of how sweet life can be. Doubting your judgments is the beginning of enlightenment. Inspiration is sometimes as simple as a shared smile. It is safer to search in the maze than to remain in a cheeseless situation. You need mountains. Long staircases don't make good hikers. People have boldness to criticize, but not to sensitize. Errors do not cease to be errors simply because they're ratified into law. Help others without any reason and give without the expectation of receiving anything in return. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Maybe other people will try to limit me, but I don't limit myself. Karma is given, not to those who ask, but to those who ask of nothing. To establish that a rule is likely to be true, one must try to prove it false. Some people talk in their sleep. Lecturers talk while other people sleep. Notice the difference between being in control and needing control. We never live. We are always in the expectation of living. For some unknown reason, success usually occurs in private, while failure occurs in full view. A photographer is like a cod, which produces 1,000,000 eggs in order that one may reach maturity. Life is like yoga. The only way you can enjoy it is by relaxing into any position you happen to find yourself in. It is quite simple to live a life of progress, have a vision, and be committed to the process required for success. Winners are not afraid of losing, but losers are. Failure is part of the process of success. People who avoid failure also avoid success. We cannot be sure of having something to live for unless we are willing to die for it. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. Wisdom is having things right in your life and knowing why. The most wasted of all days is one without laughter. One must work and dare if one really wants to live. If you can't control your peanut butter, you can't expect to control your life. It is not the failure of others to appreciate your abilities that should trouble you, but rather your failure to appreciate theirs. The mistakes I've made are dead to me, but I can't take back the things I never did. The only thing that can grow is the thing you give energy to. People do not meet by chance. They navigate their lives to certain people for certain reasons. I was saying the right things, but not the really true things. By what men think, We create the world around us, daily new. A world without poetry and art would be too much like one without birds or flowers, bearable but a lot less enjoyable. Sadness is sometimes the start to eternal happiness. When life gives us challenges, there are opportunities to grow, just like storms feed the plants and give us rainbows.